How's it going, everyone? Today we are reviewing one of my all-time favourite VR escape room games. It's called The Room VR: A Dark Matter, and now it's on PlayStation VR2. I have featured it before on Quest, but I didn't complete it, and due to lack of time for this review, I still haven't actually managed to complete it, which in a way is a good thing. It means it's a challenge. But I'm pretty sure I'm around 80-90% of the way there, and this game has been a constant surprise all the way through. But I've definitely experienced enough to know it's a very solid game with cool mechanics, and in my testing, there is only one negative in coming to PSVR2. Before we get into the info, please drop a like, share the video, and if you enjoy this review, please consider subscribing for more VR content. The Room VR: A Dark Matter is a fantasy escape room experience. The game begins deep within the British Institute of Archaeology in 1908, where the disappearance of an esteemed Egyptologist prompts a police investigation into the unknown. You get to explore cryptic locations, examine puzzling gadgets, and discover otherworldly goings-on. The environments are varied, colourful, and extremely detailed. Items you interact with are the same too, and it's great to see this much love put into something small. Say you only need for a moment to play a part in a much larger puzzle. But when you're in a game like this where everything is about wonder and mystery, it's nice to see everything you collect or use is looking awesome. Combine this with the efforts put into audio effects for things like weather, ghostly appearances, and the music really do help create an intense atmosphere. To be clear, I'm not a massive fan of escape rooms. I don't get too excited when these games come out, but there was something about this that lured me in years ago, and I'm really glad it did, and I've been loving re-experiencing it on PSVR2. Now, much like any puzzle game, especially escape room experiences, they can make you feel amazingly stupid, and in the next breath, a complete genius. And the good thing about this game is, the game puzzles constantly evolve with each level. As you progress, you unlock lenses which all do different things. One, for example, allows you to look through a certain material, and then you can even interact with it. Another reason I love this game is the sense of scale that another one of the lenses you collect gives you, and I think VR is the best way to experience something like this in any video game. There are some points of the game where you get to shrink into the size of someone that can fit into a keyhole, and it's so cool to be teleported into another part of this world that you obviously didn't even want to pay attention to, because why would you think about going into a keyhole in the first place? Two key things to remember in this game is observation and memory. You do need to really pay attention to what is going on. And with saying that, there is another cool feature of this game, and that is a hint system. But I beg you, please don't try and use it, because if you start using the hint system, you're going to rush through this game. And games like this really do only have one playthrough to offer you. So personally, I've not used the hint system at all, and I'm about 3 hours in, and I'm pretty sure I'm close to where the game is going to come to an end. But in saying that, you can't really quote gameplay length on something like this, because everyone's going to be different at solving these puzzles. And one more thing about the hint system, it doesn't punish you in any way either, which I think is a bit of a shame, but, you know, I'd rather have something that makes me think, right, I need to avoid using this. But as I said, I personally didn't use it at all. Next up is the control system. Unfortunately, there is no smooth turning, which led me to moving all over my play space. I personally hate snap turning and find it very immersion breaking, and the game uses teleport exclusively. Now, these two things combined would normally be a massive downer, but it actually makes a lot of sense and helps the player progress through the game. For example, there might be an area where you've done a puzzle and you simply won't need to go back to, so that area will now not be available to teleport to. And once you've teleported into that space, you can obviously move around in your physical space. When it comes to the port itself, I'm really pleased to say this game looks really excellent on PSVR2. But there is one issue that I hope the developers fix today upon launch, and that is a side-by-side issue I kept experiencing at random events. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it can happen multiple times, even within a minute. And there's no rhyme or reason to why it would happen. And if you don't know what I mean by side-by-side issues, it's like someone moving the scale of the entire game in your left eye for a second and then throwing you back. I hope, as I said earlier, that the developers do patch this as soon as possible. For my conclusion, I think this game is a must buy if you are into escape rooms. I absolutely love this. There's so much magical wonder, the graphics are amazing, and the puzzles genuinely kept me going, and I actually really enjoyed the story as well. This wasn't one of those games that I was just focusing on the puzzle. I really enjoyed reading the story and learning about the game as well. So there it is. I hope there's no spoilers in this for you. Thank you ever so much for watching. Let me know your comments down below, and I'll see you on the next one.